Welcome to a long time ago with me, Adam. I've got Martyn over there. You okay, Martyn?
Yep, good. Thanks, Adam. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you. This week we're on our December pickups episode, aren't we? We've got a bit of a bumper pickups episode going on.
Yeah, I mean, before you start with yours, I mean, it's just been painful on the wallet this last couple of weeks. I mean, I've had 3 pre-orders, 2 waves and a 2-pack come in the space of a week. Wow. It's been a hectic pickups.
Buying them in the waves is the cheaper way to do it, though, isn't it? In the long run, in the grand scheme of things.
If you don't have any of the TVC 1.0 when they re-release them, and you order the sort of say a 6 in a wave, and one of them is a reissue, if you like, then yeah. But if it's say it's just 5 of the 6 you need because you already have the original, then it's cheaper to buy them individually. The only issue is, for some reason, the individual ones sell out a lot quicker. I guess there's less of them because they don't want to sell them individually. Yeah. So it's usually risk-free if you just order the wave.
People aren't out there collecting everything, are they? There's going to be a lot of people that are just collecting some bits, I expect. So, yeah, exactly. I guess like me, I will only pick up the odd one here or there. So,
yeah, definitely.
I expect they go quicker than the waves. People aren't as likely to pick up the waves. But yeah, so do you want to start with the few things I've got?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
this is an interesting one. I mean,
okay,
essentially it's junk. But one of my mates decided to gift me some. Do you remember these? I don't know.
Star Wars Pez's. Wow.
yeah. So I've got Chewie. I've got Yoda.
Oh, cool.
I've got Vader and the Emperor.
Oh, you got Sidious. That's awesome. Yeah. Might have to steal that from you.
And I've got
your favourite character,
R2 and C-3PO.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
How old are they?
Well, I'm not going to eat the sweets, put it that way.
Yeah.
Because they went out of date in 2010.
Okay. So, I mean, they've got to be Revenge of the Sith era because of Sidious, I would think.
Yeah, quite possibly. There's no real sort of sign of what they might be.
All right. So, where did he get those from?
That's a clone on there, isn't it?
Yes.
So, yeah, I have no idea where he got them from, but he just. I met up with him one day and he went, "Hey, you interested in this?" And I was like, "Absolutely, yeah, I'll have that." I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with it because, what can you do with Pez these days?
No, well, display them on a shelf, mate.
Display them on a shelf. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I've got those. They're kind of fun. So,
yeah,
they're not going to be worth anything, and they are, as I said, essentially junk. But it's quite cool. It's quite cool.
You see, you're starting to what's starting to happen to you is what happened to me many years ago, where you're becoming the Star Wars guy. If anyone's got any Star Wars stuff that they want to get rid of, or they need to buy you a present or whatever, it's Star Wars. It goes straight to you, yeah. And
then you get a garage full of forgotten boxes.
Absolutely.
So you probably see these Pez dispensers in a later video. Say, I don't know, 10 years down the line of forgotten boxes, you might see them again if you're still watching by then.
That'd be cool. You've got to try the sweets because there's a whole thing, isn't there, on some internet YouTubers. They do videos where they try stuff that's gone out of date.
You're going to put people. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do it together if people are interested. Put that in the comments if you want us to get together and try some 13-year-old Pez's. They're probably even older than that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have another pickup that I want to sort of go. Basically, from time to time, I'll jump on eBay and I'll see if there's things going cheap. And this was going quite cheap. So I figured, why not just grab that? It's in really good nick, and it's going to be one of those things where on the off chance that I do one day get a Star Wars room and I've got the space that you've got there, and I want a nice big display and collect all the TVC. If I pick them up cheap as this one was, then why not? Yeah.
I agree. I mean, to be fair, they don't. If you the great thing about these small 3 3/4 inch uh, Star Wars figures in the cases is the fact that they don't take up a huge amount of room, unless
No,
you've
they
got
don't.
about 500. But um,
Yeah.
so,
Then you're well on your way to.
absolutely, and you should absolutely, if you see them for cheap and in good condition, pick them up.
Yeah.
That's a great buy. I always like that.
It's in good nick. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
prefer the card back to the actual figure. I mean, I know that's the 2.0 version. I know the figure looks a lot better facially,
Yeah.
but the original one was a shocker.
Yeah.
But I do like the
Goes
card
for a
back.
lot of money though, doesn't it? That
It does,
original.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got it graded actually. It's a great
Oh wow.
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
cool.
So let's move on to yours because I know you've got a few to get through now.
Yeah. So as I said at the beginning, it's been a pretty bumper week or so, and I think it was wave 48 and 49 came flying into the door, and those waves included VC 293, which was the Grand Inquisitor from Obi-Wan Kenobi. Really like this card back. I was a little. I have to admit, I was one of those people who's a little disappointed in when the series came out. He didn't have the correct skull shape, shall we say?
Yeah.
Should have been
It
a
was
bit
a
more
bit round,
cone head.
wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
a
a
bit
bit
round.
humanoid head, but
Yeah.
I got over it very quickly because that sort of thing's not important particularly. I also got VC 294, which was HK87, which is the sort of the assassin droids from
Yeah.
Ahsoka.
Yeah.
VC 295, which was Morgan Elsbeth. Loved her character in Ahsoka. I was a bit gutted she got killed actually in the final episode. I thought she could have had another season in her. Ahsoka kills her in the lightsaber fight. Yeah. VC 296 Grand Admiral Thrawn on a Rebels card. I have to say this is one of my favourites. I'm not, as everyone knows who watches us, I'm not the biggest Rebels fan. I liked it, but I'm not the biggest fan in the world. But because I've got the 4 Rebels cards coming with the Ghost when that arrives, the HasLab, this will look really nice with them on a shelf. So I'm really chuffed to have this one. Is it 5 cards on the HasLab? I can't remember.
5. It might
Yeah,
be
it's 5. So
wasn't
yeah,
it?
this will fit perfectly on the shelf of 6 on one of those shelves when they come out. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, nice.
VC 297 Ahsoka Tano from Ahsoka. Apparently this was a repack from another figure that came out on the Mandalorian, but I think it was the boxed version. They bring out those accessories boxed versions. I believe it's a repack of that. VC 298, which was Luke Skywalker from the Mandalorian season 2, where he's training Grogu. Yeah, that's a quite cool little card back. I really like that. It's weird. You look at the card back and you kind of sit there and you go, "Is that Mark Hamill?" I mean, it looks like him, but there's something off about it. But I really like it. It's really cool. VC 299 Pre Vizsla on a Clone Wars card.
Yeah.
Finally got a Pre Vizsla.
Great character.
The original Vizsla that we knew anyway.
Yeah.
Then we got VC 300 General Hera Syndulla. Obviously that's on an Ahsoka card. She didn't really have much to do in the series, did she? But happy to have the card back. I'm a completionist. I had to have it regardless.
Yeah.
And the next one, VC 301, and this one is one that's been meant to have come out on the vintage collection for years, and it's finally come out. And it's the Knights of the Old Republic Darth Revan card, which absolutely love this card back. Love this character. Knights of the Old Republic.
I don't know anything about this guy.
No, and it's good that you don't, to be honest.
Okay. Okay.
Well, there was rumor in the last week or so. Sorry to go off on a tangent, but there's a rumor in the last week or so.
Wouldn't be an episode if we didn't.
Well, absolutely. They were doing a remake of the Knights of the Old Republic video game, and they were going to modernize it and make it for the modern audiences on a modern console and PC, etc. Well, there was a rumor in the last week that had been cancelled and it wasn't going to happen anymore. And I was gutted, not only for me but for you, because I know
Yeah.
that you would love this game. But apparently the rumours aren't true. Apparently they are still working on it. So whether we get it or not, I don't know. If we don't get it, you might have to.
It was cancelled once before, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And then another studio picked it up or something?
I think so. Yeah, they changed studios, didn't they? Yeah. I can't remember. It was can't remember last week, let alone a couple of years ago. But so yeah, I'm really excited that might still be happening, and I'm really excited for you to play it.
Because I really want to. I've heard from you. I've heard such good things. So.
It is the greatest Star Wars video game, in my opinion, ever made, and I was introduced to it the way I'd like to introduce it to you eventually, where you don't know anything about it, you just play it. Okay. But I think you might find, because it's a 16, 17-year-old game, you might find it's a little bit antiquated now. I mean, at the time it was amazing, obviously, but now I played a little bit of it on my iPad, because you can buy it on your iPad now, and the combat systems are just really antiquated. So a modern version of it would be great. But that aside, this doesn't matter about the gameplay. It's the story. It's just incredible. And I would really say to anybody who hasn't played it, don't look into it. Just play it, because it's got one of the greatest stories ever.
Right. If it does end up getting cancelled, then should I just get it on the iPad?
It's a tough one, because it's an easier game to play with a mouse. I've got to be honest, because it's like a Dungeons and Dragons sort of, not Dungeons and Dragons, sort of role playing game where it has a dice throw, and you don't see the dice obviously, but
random.
I got on fine with it on the iPad, I have to say, but I kind of knew what I was doing because I'd played it before. It's quite a large open world game, where you go to different planets, and then there's a giant open world, and you have to go and do this and do that before you move on to the next planet. So I don't know. I mean, you might get on fine with it, but we'll see.
It's for another time.
So another time. That can go in our. We're going to do a top 5 favorite Star Wars games video at some point. I know we've discussed, but we'll save that. Although I've just given away number 1. Damn it. Okay, on to my next one. As you can see, I got a lot of figures this week. VC302. Finally, we got Director Krennic from Rogue One.
We were asking for that for quite a while.
I was so happy to have that figure. It's fantastic character, fantastic movie. VC304, I think it is. Which was Chopper on an Ahsoka card. Again, this actually looks quite cool little figure. I didn't like Chopper in Rebels. Everyone loved him, but I didn't really get on with the character. As soon as I saw him,
I'm still a bit unsure about him.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Well, as in Ahsoka, I actually really enjoyed him a lot more. I guess because it was live action. I suppose he kind of felt more.
I mean, everyone knows that I love my astromech droids, and I don't know if it's because he's stumpy and. Do you know what I mean? He looks a little bit like wonky, and I don't know if that sort of is what does it for me. I don't love about him. If I do a run of collecting astromechs, I don't know if I can. I don't know if he should be in it.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, I see where you're coming from, because I felt like that in Rebels. He was just annoying. Just like Ezra was. But anyway, we've had that conversation before. Next figure was VC303, which is R5D4.
R5D4,
yeah. Again, I've got this on the original Star Wars card from A New Hope, but they've re-released him for the Mandalorian card. So vast improvement, I have to say.
Is it?
The card, though, however... Oh, go on.
Go on. No, go on.
I was going to say, the card arrived with a massive bend and crease with veining in the top left. So I haven't got that one to show, unfortunately, because I've sent it back to get a replacement.
Well, I mean, I have it. And mine is in immaculate condition. So,
nice.
I do need to get some cases, some star cases for them. But yeah, mine arrived in really good condition. So
fantastic! It's a great figure, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a cool little and decent little card back as well.
Yeah,
I say it's in immaculate condition, but I'm now just seeing a little bit of, like your Fat Bib Fortuna, I can just make out a little line across here that curves
Yeah.
down. So not
Unfortunately,
completely
thankfully,
immaculate.
that's from the actual manufacturers, though, I think, and unfortunately,
Yes,
they don't take care, do they?
No.
No.
Otherwise, it's in immaculate condition. So I'm.
Yeah. All right, well, I look forward to receiving my second one at some point in the near future. Okay, next one. It was a 2-pack special sort of edition 2-pack that they released. Again, both Knights of the Old Republic figures. And the first one was a VC 305 and it's HK 47, which is the first time you would have seen one of the HK droids in Star Wars. So obviously we spoke about HK 87 earlier that I received from Ahsoka. This was the first, canon, I suppose canon figure. I don't know if Knights of the Old Republic is canon, but it would have been the first sort of iteration of that droid you would have seen in Star Wars. So yeah, he's a great character, a really funny character. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And finally, another stunner, VC 306, which is Jedi Knight Revan.
Yeah.
Whoa! How could he be Darth Revan and Jedi Knight Revan at the same time? He's asking himself. Well, you have to play the game to find out. But again, this looks absolutely amazing. Really great. I love this. I'm really, really chuffed more than anything to have these two. I think out of all of the Darth Revan and the Jedi Revan, because those two characters mean a lot to me. From
for whatever reason that you're not going to tell me about.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. No. I mean, that it will become clear to you at some point. But So really, really massive amount of vintage collection that have come in over the last 10 days or so.
Yeah.
so really happy.
Good. Yeah. Where are you going to put them?
Well, I do have a little bit of room spare. You might have noticed, I had the boxed card backs that were on these shelves over here.
Yes, yeah.
They've all been moved now, so I only have card backs that are in the cases now.
Right. Okay.
Excuse me while I have a drink. But before all these came in, I made a purchase. And I wouldn't have made this purchase if I'd realised all of these were coming in at the same time. But that's how things go, unfortunately, sometimes. Yeah. And this is something that I could have bought a couple of years ago, or maybe a year ago, from our friend Justin.
Yeah.
That we've spoken about, and he's sold me some fantastic graded figures in the past, and while I didn't buy this from him, I don't really want to go into the details, but I bought it via him, you could say.
Okay.
But I managed to pick up, and it is a figure that I already have, but it's graded this time. It is the George Lucas Saga Collection mail away,
and with the mail away,
with the mail away box in the graded case. As anybody who knows me knows, I'm a huge GL fan. Mr. George Lucas is the reason we all love this stuff, and it was a real hunt for me when I originally got the one that sat behind me on the shelf, but when this came up I couldn't say no. And it's absolutely immaculate. I mean, as we know, these bubbles from the Saga collection have a tendency to go yellow quite quickly, and this one is so clear. It's unbelievable, and it got an uncirculated 90% gold grade, which let's be quite honest with you, that's pretty much one of the highest grades you can get. And this is going to be one of those pride of place pickups for me. I'm really, really happy. There's only one negative though, Adam. And the negative is the shelves that I put up, there's not enough gaps between any of them for me to be able to put it on a shelf. So I'm really struggling at the moment as to where to put it. I'm thinking on top of the display cases, but for as we know, there's a reason they might be leaving the room in the near future. So then I'm really screwed because I haven't got anywhere to put it. But that's any suggestions from anybody who's watching the video. I'd be really, really helpful. That'd be if you could give me some ideas. But
I mean, I'm just looking at the space above the arcade machine. You've got the two figures there. I'm wondering if you could put a little shelf there, but
well,
I don't know. At this point, let's not let's not.
The arcade
think
machine
about that.
will be leaving the room.
Yeah.
I think, because
Okay.
I need the extra space. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going to put the arcade machine, but I do use it a lot. But I just think it's going to have to leave the room, unfortunately. But that's for another video. But yeah, so really chuffed with all the pickups I've made. I can't afford to buy my wife any Christmas presents this year. So
she's got
Stephanie,
everything
if you're
she
watching
needs.
this, if you're watching this, you know, I'm so sorry, but I still love you. Oh dear. I bought you a George Lucas.
She's got you, Martyn. What more does she need?
Course. Oh, thank you, Adam. Thank you. But yeah, that's all I've got for this week, Adam.
Excellent. Yeah. Brilliant. It's a bumper episode of pickups, and for both of us, really. So
absolutely,
good times. Okay, excellent. If you enjoyed that one, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, and we'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you later.
Bye.